goes against first. So, just holding up. All right, hello everybody. My name is Kenny Rooster, and if you don't know me, that's because I'm not famous. But I sure would fucking like to be, so let's see how this goes, right? Now let's get acquainted. First thing you have to know about me, I'm non-binary. That was already mentioned. What does that mean, you may ask? For me personally, it means that I don't identify as a man or a woman, but I identify as both a gentleman and a lady, right? And so that means, yes, thank you, that when somebody catcalls me, right, when they're like, show me your tits, that I whip around and I go, cheerio, good sir. Unfortunately, I haven't the time today, as I'm very late for a very important date. However, perhaps we could talk about reframing and respect at a later date. Huzzah! And then I hike up my petticoats and I put on my monocle and I leave. Another thing to know about me is that I'm polyamorous, right? And that is because I've always been capable of loving more than one person at a time. And also because I am not that much of a fiscal responsibility when divided 4 ways. Ooh. All right, now that we've covered that, let's dive in. When I was younger, my family and I would have lobster for dinner sometimes. My dad would put the lobster on the ground and let me play with it before he would send it to his watery grave. So I was talking to him once, I said, Dad, I think that's kind of fucked up. And then he looked at me and he said, that's not what happened. And I said, oh, and he said, no. And then he said, I debated very long and hard about whether or not I was going to let you play with the lobster, but you kept insisting. So like a fool, I thought, well, what's the worst that could happen? So I put the lobster on the ground, and then you went, hello, Mr. Lobster. You're really cute, so we're going to play. But then I'm going to eat you because you're delicious. That was pretty unsettling for him. But growing up, I didn't just have a dad, I also had a mom, and I'll share some stories about her now. When I was 16, I tried to come out to my mom. I said, Mom, I'm gay. She said, no, you're not. I said, okay, no, I am though, I'm gay. And she said, no, you're not. And then I changed tactic. I said, hey, Mom, do you remember my rugby coach's daughter? Me too. We weren't just assembling IKEA furniture down there. And then she looked at me and she said, Mackenzie, we all experiment with our friends. That doesn't make you gay. I was like, well, this became a very different conversation just now. That was checkmate. That was good. Didn't see it coming. Don't worry though. As it turns out, my mom doesn't hate gay people. She just hates surprises. But I got her back. My mom and I were engaged in a lifelong tete-a-tete as to who can impose the most psychological warfare on the other. So that same year, I'm 16, and I am with my mother. And I see her shit herself. In Bethesda, Maryland. In the lingerie section of Nordstrom's. While wearing white linen pants. Yeah, and I was a total dick about it. Then, you know, I was like, ooh, score 1, Kenny. No. God said score 0, Kenny. I have IBS now. And yeah. I'm 27 years old. Thank you so much. Some of the room was like, and some of the room was like, I'm so sorry for your loss. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So for those of you that don't know, what that means is I'm 27 years old and I've shit myself 6 times in my adult life. It's never been in a Nordstrom's though. I don't really have shit yourself in a Nordstrom's money. I'm more of a shit yourself in the Goodwill kind of gal. But it's nice to have something to aspire to. So I had a lot of unregulated emotions when I was younger. Why? It doesn't matter. But we all develop coping mechanisms, right? And I found an incredible coping mechanism. What is it, Kenny? What is it, you ask? I'll tell you. It is masturbation.
Yeah!
All of those feelings out straight through the pussy. It was incredible. Yeah, you know, I had this realization. I was like, why could I beat up other kids? when I could just beat this meat. When I could swirl my fingers around in some thin-cut deli-sliced ham. That joke never does well, but I love it! Okay. Yeah, I do love to masturbate. I still do to this day. I'll admit it. But what I don't love is Pornhub.com. And she and I do this dance in which I'm like, I wouldn't like to have to execute myself for public safety after I watch porn. So what can I watch? The other day, after much searching, right, I found a video. I'll tell you about it now. It was shot, I presume, on an Android from 2012. So it wasn't so much a film as an impressionist painting that moved. And it was these two ill-lit lesbians having sex to what? Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. Yeah. Not exactly on my ideal sex playlist, but we take what we can get, right? And so I'm going to demonstrate for you now what it was like to masturbate to this impressionist porn, the background of which was Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. It went a little something like this. Okay. I had a feeling that I belonged. I had a feeling that I could be someone. And then I clicked to the guitar solo. We had a great time. Her and I. Thank you so much. We're friends. My clit and I, to be clear. All right. Now, I don't have a very strong sense of self because I'm very mentally ill. And so people will tell me things and I'll be like, I'll believe that. And so someone was like, hey, Kenny, you should really shave your vagina because that is a hot and sexy look. And I said, okay. And then I deforested that wetlands like I'd never seen Fern Gully. Like, what if I found myself at the end of a Daisy Razor from CBS? Anyway, I didn't. Here's what I learned on this day. And perhaps this is just my experience. I don't want to universalize. We discourage that, right? I don't want to universalize, but my experience is that when my pussy has been balded, it looks like the Hulk took 2 cans of raw Pillsbury biscuit dough and just went, "Yeah!" And then Georgia O'Keeffe sculpted a little hooded rosebud right in the crease. So it really wasn't the look I was going for. But I don't judge, right? Because I have made love to and dated and had sex with several people who have completely shaved or waxed their entire petit prince, if you will. No one ever does, but I think that's funny. Okay, just taking notes to myself. This is all a work in progress. Anyway, they've completely waxed or shaven. I had a lover of yesteryear, right? Who was like, hey baby, before we get all started, get all hot and heavy talking about sex, I just want to let you know that it's a little red down there because I just got waxed. And I was like, baby, what do I look like, an amateur? Just for everybody, okay? I know I have these nails, but I eat mad pussy, okay? So calm down. So I was like, baby, what do I look like? An amateur? Get away from there. I know just what to say. And then I went, hello, Mr. Lobster. You're really cute, so we're gonna play. And then I'm gonna eat you because you're delicious.
Remember we were driving in your car. Streets of Africa like I was young. See you like city out before. I'm gonna